Yes, good morning, students. Yeah, let us discuss about sale of immovable property under the TP Act, that is Transfer of Property Act 1882. Sale. We are going to discuss about sale today, right? Under the TP Act. So, what is sale? Sale is the transfer of ownership of a immovable property, not movable, right? We are speaking here of immovable property. So sale is the transfer of ownership of immovable properties, right, from a seller to a buyer for the price paid, yeah, promised to pay in the future, yeah, partly they paid, yeah, partly they promised they'll pay in the future. So that is known as sale, right? So under the Transfer of Property Act 1882, a sale is the absolute transfer of ownership of a property from a seller to a buyer in exchange for a price paid, that is consideration will come here, promised or partly paid or partly promised, right? So it is defined under the section 54 of TP Act. So what it has defined means sale is the transfer of ownership of immovable property like land, building, house in exchange for a price, that is money, paid, yeah, promised to pay, yeah, partly paid, yeah, partly promised. So this is known as sale. Sale is the transfer of ownership, right? When I sell my mobile to you, right, then you will become the owner. I have sold out to you, so once I sold to you, then you'll get that mobile, right, to use, and you have purchased through me, from me, right? Then what it will happen, there is a transfer of ownership, right? In case when it comes under the TP Act, then if I am selling my property to you, building, land, your house, right, then it is the transfer of ownership. For why I am selling? Because of money, for the money. Yeah, sometimes it may be completely paid, sometimes they'll promise they'll pay later, sometimes what they'll say, partly they'll pay installment, then partly they'll pay later, yeah, partly they will promise. So now I have paid 5 lakhs, I promise next I'll pay 10 lakhs, so like that. So it is the contract, yeah, there should be contract for that, and there should be actual transfer of ownership, then only we can call it as sale. So sale is done through a registered deed, most important, right? Sale is always done through a registered deed. It is the most important document, that is the contract will provide the terms of condition of sale, like including ownership, delivery, payment. When the seller transfer the ownership in the property, the sale is done. At the same time, the seller will give possession of the property to the buyer. So the most important, we should do a contract. In that contract will be having various terms and condition of sale, like ownership, delivery, payment. So once he transfer the possession na, then buyer will become the owner of that property. A sale of immovable property is done through a registered instrument. Yes. Note, it only applies to immovable property. Yeah. And price is an essential element, that is consideration, and ownership transfer, then only sale is completed, right? Next is essential elements of a sale. So we have a two party, seller and buyer. Seller who transfer his property is called as seller. Buyer, the person to whom the property is transferred, yeah, the person who purchased, is called as buyer. And we have competency, right? Seller must be the owner, because he is selling the property, that make sure that property should belong to him or her. So they must be owner of the property, and they should be competent, that is 18 years, sound mind, not disqualified by law. Next, buyer, even buyer should be competent to receive the ownership of the property. He should be capable of holding the property. Even he should be a major, sound mind, and not disqualified by law, right? Not disqualified by law. And next is subject matter. Subject matter, what it is? It is with the sale of immovable property, where we are speaking about immovable property here, not movable property. And money consideration, yes, price is an essential element, right? If it is no consideration, then it will come under the gift, right? So price is an essential element of the sale. And fifth point, con- convenience means there are two modes, right? Actual delivery should take place, then only we can say it is a sale. And second, registration is compulsory, right, of the sale deed. Fine. And how is sale done? If the value of property is less than 100 rupees, actual delivery of possession, right? Actual delivery is possession. You can deliver, for example, it's a pen, yeah, perfume, right? So whatever, if it is below 100 rupees, it is above 100 rupees, registration of sale deed is mandatory, right? So above 100 rupees, nowadays 100 rupees is nothing, right? You may be thinking why this 100 rupees only they made, right? But you have to remember, when we got this TP Act, we got in the year 1882. So that time 100 rupees was having more value. 1882, 100 rupees was having more value, like it was a lakhs together that time, during those days, because that time only we got the law. So because of that, what they said, if the value of the property is less than 100 rupees, the registration is not required, actual delivery is required. If the value of the property is more than 100 rupees, registration of sale deed is mandatory, right? And rights and duties of the seller. So before sale, what will be the rights and duties of the seller? He should disclose all the material defects. If it is something is there related to building houses, he should not hide. He should openly say, because they are going to purchase. So he should be open and produce all the documents for buyer's inspection, like whatever the documents are there, from whom he has purchased, right? If there is any sale deed, gift deed he got, means he's going to sell to another person. So all the documents he has to give to the buyer so that they can inspect, and they should answer all the questions honestly, whatever buyer asks to the seller. And after sale, give possession to the buyer, right? Because buyer will pay the money, yeah, partly paid, yeah, promised to pay, but he has to give the possession to buyer as per the contract, and he has to deliver all the original documents, right? And pay all the outstanding dues till sale is complete. If it is any dues are there, any income tax is pending, so he has to pay the dues, right? Then only he should deliver his property to the buyer. And next is rights and duties of the buyer. So before sale, he has to pay the price as per the contract, and if there is any increase or decrease in the market value of the sale price, he should inform to the uh, seller, right, about the material facts, yeah, anything if he found about the building, about the flat, yeah, land, he should discuss openly with the seller. After sale, is entitled to all the future rents and profits, right? Because seller's right will be no more, because he has purchased, means buyer only will be having the all the rights for all the future rents and profit, and any increase in value or improvements, and bear all the future losses, taxes and maintenance, because he will be the owner. And once he has paid and buy the plot, your home, buildings, land, then the risk passes to buyer once ownership is transferred to his name, right? There are case law, Mishri Lal versus Vijay Srivastav. Contract of sale must be based on mutual agreement, right? There should be mutual agreement, offer and acceptance should be there, and it should be free consent. And Arjun Reddy versus Arjun Taga, property below rupees 100 can be transferred without registration. Below 100 rupees, no need of registration. Next, sale and contract of sale. Sale we already know, it is a transfer of ownership, right, for a money. Contract for sale means it is a contract that a sale of such property shall take place on certain terms and condition between the parties, right? And next, what is the difference between sale and contract? Means ownership transfer, yes, immediately. In the sale, immediately it will transfer. In contract for sale, no, it will not transfer, only on the agreement, because partly it will be, partly promise it will be, right? Once they pay the amount, then only it will be immediately transferred and creates interest, legal title in run. So once it will come on my name, then against the word nobody can claim that property. It's belong to my name and I purchased it, right? So I'll be having a legal title on that property. Here only personal right till I pay the money. And next is registration, mandatory, because I given full price, right? Sale, I purchased this, mandatory registration here not required. So until and unless contract for sale means, yeah, until and unless what they'll say, we pay the money, right? Then only we'll get the property if it is partly promised. Yeah, in some cases what happened, if it is a below 100 rupees now, then not required, right? Like if I want to buy something below 100 rupees ka, if it is there a bike for 50 rupees, then no need, it will come under the movable anyway. Yeah, so this is the, if any doubts you can ask me. Thank you.